Hey Mike, I was playing with Legos and wanted to run an idea by you, so don't judge my video skills. The first part of this is how I think of this design process, that what we're trying to get to is something in the center that we can't really define well right now, and it's a mix of kind of human interaction and human insight from spending time with your guys and seeing how the different projects are going. And also potentially tools. From what you've said and from what I know about the U.S. military and how they're working with data on Somalia, it's really needed. So anyway, so I see the process coming from two sides. One on the right is the user research and just spending time with your guys and having beers. The other side on the left is prototyping. And that's things like what I'm going to show you now, different ways to capture data and visualize it and see if that helps get to the sort of solution or dealing with some of the information sharing and kind of synergy finding problem you described. So how I want to do that is this. I'll start with this crazy little guy. So the Neurocosmology kind of reference architecture, this diagram, is from my co-founder Dave Warner, his PhD thesis. And his idea was that instead of taking data visualization piece by piece, if you think about it as this kind of system and you're designing all the pieces, then you're going to have like an unlimited opportunity for creativity. So this idea is that you've got the human nervous system in the middle, and whether it's by texting, by hand, or visual, eyes, or whatever it is, there's all kinds of options for both sensation and expression through the human nervous system. And then once you've got that, say, data into the body, into the biology, then it's going to the mind and you're creating perception, some kind of cognition of meaning. And that's either leaving, so like when I think of your guys, they're trying to convey, say, a report from an operation. They've got this meaning. It has to come through their biology to some kind of data source, visualization, that then can be shared. It's totally inefficient and a waste of their time, as you said, to be texting as a way of expression. So one of my prototypes that I would like to do before I leave is designing a different means of expression that gets to computation, some sort of visualization that then can be shared with others to easily be sensed, because reading a text report is not an efficient way to use your nervous system to sense information, to more clearly get a perception of meaning, and then we can use that not just to convey the report of that one op to you, but also convey information to the State Department, U.S. military, blah, blah, blah. So this is an example, or just a screenshot, of the 3D visualization that Dave created. So it's 3D on the computer screen, which means you can turn it around, zoom in, zoom out. And this is data from Angola, from their civil war. It's got like layered by time and geography, time on the vertical axis, different events like attacks and building schools or advances by the army, whatever it is. You can design the key however you want. The idea is that by conveying information in shape and depth and space and color, your human eye, your nervous system, is much more efficiently and so using less energy and much faster able to get to a perception of meaning about what's happening in a place like this. You just have to custom design the key so everybody kind of understands what different colors and shapes mean. So if we think about the input, there's a couple different options I wanted to try. One is this armband. So it's called Mio, and it registers different neuromuscular movements, senses them. And so you can kind of create a key based on hand movements of what happened during an op. And so it could be really simple, and that key, so like they can give a report just by moving different pieces of their hands. Not different pieces, putting their hands in different gestures. You can create a report So that data from the hand, the different gestures, becomes data, say, in a spreadsheet, which then you can put the output in many different ways. This is my Lego version of a 3D visualization of Mogadishu. It eventually could look more sophisticated, but this is a prototype. The other option that I thought might be fun is in this prototype, like you can do a trial of this right now. But your guys could take Lego and go, okay, I had a meeting with 2 people from the State Department. And these red shapes denote people from the State Department. When somebody is blue, it means they've been there. They're a senior person in the State Department. Purple means they're Pol Mill. This gray and blue, shorter amount of time, and they are in the development side. And the development person actually has a big pocket of money, and this is the kind that it is. And your meeting with them was about building a school. This is the shape for that. And there was some additional data about what they want from Bancroft and kind of like local people they want building it, and maybe some other data about the number of students they serve, whatever. What you could do though is take a picture of this, and then with open source code that's out there now, you can just grab code that analyzes this image, and based on what you tell it of the key, what those shapes represent, it can then send that to a spreadsheet, and then you can tell it to visualize whatever you want. But it's another way for them to create a report without having to type. They can just create an image like that. The last one is, I'm sure with iPads, you've already played around with this, but just creating maps. And so it's one level to play with this app, Paper 53, right? You upload a map, and then you're just zooming in, like we're gonna go here. There's an operation here, and then we had movement, blah, blah, blah.